Hello everyone and welcome to today's video presentation. Today we are talking about factual, scanning, and negative questions for the reading section of the TOEFL ITP. We will talk about these 3 questions and some strategies, then you will practice. You will need a pen or pencil for this video. If you do not have a pen or pencil, please pause the video and get one now. Let's talk about factual questions first. Factual questions ask about specific details. Who, what, when, where, why, how much, how many, or how often. These are very small answers, so these are easiest to answer. For example, who is Sally? Well, Sally is a teacher. One-word answer, teacher. What happened in Chicago in 1985? When did they marry? Where did Carrie live last year? And more. All of these questions have small answers that you can find in the text. How do you know if it is a factual question? Well, these often begin with according to the passage or according to the author. So maybe it might say, according to the passage, who is Sally? Or, according to the author, where did Carrie live last year? If you see according to the passage or according to the author, it tells you the answer is directly inside the passage. You can find the answer. Now, let me give you some fun facts about factual questions. Fun fact 1, there are usually more factual questions than other types of questions, besides vocabulary, in the reading section of the TOEFL. This is great, yes, because factual questions are easy. You can answer factual questions, and there are a lot of factual questions. This is good. Number 2, fun fact 2, factual questions follow the order of the passage. For example, you can see question 1 is at the top. The answer to question 2 is farther down, question 3 is farther down, and question 4 is at the bottom. Question 4's answer will never be at the top, never. Question 1's answer will never be at the bottom. So if you have your questions, you can look at only one part of your text. Now, let's talk about scanning questions. Scanning questions are factual questions, but you do not need to understand the answer. You only need to find it. That means that these questions are the easiest to answer because you do not need to understand. Only you need to find where the answer is. For example, where in the passage does the author mention specific accomplishments of the basket makers? A, B, C, D are all lines. Lines 7 to 9, 10 to 13, 14 through 15, or 23 to 25. Now you see in the question, it says, where in the passage? This means that you need to find where it is. You do not need to answer the question. Now, how do you answer scanning questions? Well, you should pay attention to line numbers in reading passages. For example, here is your reading passage and line 5. That means that is line 5. One before that is line 4. Before that, line 3. Okay, and so on. These will help you answer the questions. Now, what do scanning questions normally look like? You can see 3 important phrases. A description of blank can be found in, or where in the passage does the author specifically stress blah blah blah, Or, in what paragraph does the author first mention the concept of blah, blah, blah? Found in, where in the passage and what paragraph means this is a scanning question. And you should look for where. Where is the answer? Now, let's talk about negative questions. Negative questions are the third type of question. They ask which item does not belong. They look like this. According to the passage, all of the following are true except. Which of the following is not mentioned in the passage? And which of the following is least likely? If you see these words, except, not, least, these are very, very important because they tell you it is a negative question. Negative question. Okay, the correct answer is the one you cannot find in the passage. Some of the choices will have obvious distractors. Words or phrases that are silly and meant to trick you. So maybe some answers look good, but some answers look kind of silly. You can just not answer that answer because it is silly. Throw it out. Now, I have some bad news about these questions. Negative questions are not difficult, but they are very time-consuming. They take a lot of time. And you know that the TOEFL ITP reading is very, very long, and you do not have a lot of time. So, you should not spend time on negative questions. Do not spend time for these. You should look at the question, read the answers, choose the best answer, and make a guess. Then, if you have time after you finish, you can come back and look for the answers. But because these questions take a lot of time, please do not read through the passage for these questions. Just make a guess and move on. Now, how can you answer factual, scanning, and negative questions? Well, you should scan the passage. This is a great strategy for reading. Now, what is scanning? Scanning is not reading every word. You should not read every word. You should only look for an important word and look quickly for that important word. Do not read every word. We will practice this now. Please get your pencil out. The question is, what time is the last Hunger Games movie? What time is the last Hunger Games movie? Okay, do you have the answer? You should look for Hunger Games, Hunger Games, Hunger Games. Where is Hunger Games? Ah, the last Hunger Games movie is at 10:15 p.m. Do not read every word, right? Let's practice again with a menu from a restaurant, like this. Your question is, how much is the Hearts of Palm bruschetta? Okay? The answer is $8.25. You do not need to read every word. Only look for the important words, Hearts of Palm bruschetta. And how much is it? Ah, $8.25. We do this all the time in real life. Now, I want you to do it on the TOEFL ITP. Here are some scanning tips to help you with scanning questions. First, look for the key words in the question and use those to help you. For example, what was Nick's profession before he became an English teacher? What is the key word? Profession. What was Nick's profession before he became an English teacher? You do not need to read the passage. Only look for profession, 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 profession. Okay? If you cannot find profession, then you should think of some synonyms or different word forms. For example, what are some synonyms of profession? Well, job, career, or work. You should look for these: job, 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 career, 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 work, 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 work. You should not read every word, only look fast, fast, fast for these words. Also, you can look for different word forms. For example, professional or professionally. Now, here is another scanning tip. When you find the word profession, 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 there it is. Now you should read. Read every word around profession. So for example, let's practice. What was Nick's profession before he became an English teacher? Okay. Nick was a chef when he was 20. So before he was an English teacher, Nick worked as a chef. You can see this because it says worked. Not profession, but a synonym, work. Let's practice. Please pause the video and complete scanning practice number 1.